The start of the B final of Division 1, and it's the Volkswagen, the car class sponsored Volkswagen of Paul Stevens that soars into the first place from the grid. We're waiting to pick up the second place out of the dust and confusion of the first corner. We're looking at the rear marker there, which is number 6, Pros van den Eckert.
And of course there are 4 Belgian drivers in this one and 1 Dutch driver. He is number 21, Bram van der Weege. Or I should say Bram van der Weege, I am told. I'm being told off for this mispronunciation.
Number 3 it is, Paul Stevens. In second place also Volkswagen. No, it's the Fiat. Pick up the number in a second. It's number 21.
That is Bram van der Weege from Holland. So the order at the moment is Belgian driver on home soil leads the Dutch driver, another 4 Belgian drivers following, with number 8 Patrick Greendorf.
So it's Volkswagen, Fiat, Volkswagen. Wouldn't the Fiat like to be in front of those Volkswagens that dominate so much of motor racing in so many categories throughout the world these days?
Yes, well, the leader is not pulling away by too great a degree at the moment as he comes down the hill. You can see the way that the dust is being thrown up now. The track, I believe, has not been watered before the start of the finals. They did a lot of watering during qualifying, but the track has not been touched. There is number 27 now.
Now number 27 is doing extremely well, Bill. That's Kees Verkoegen, who's come up from the C final. So Kees is really putting in a fine charge from the back of the grid.
Yes, a good effort there, but somehow, Colin, I don't think that he will be able to win this one and therefore make his way through into the A final. This is Division 1, and it is extremely well supported, especially by the local drivers. There is 21, Bram van der Weege.
And now the leader's definitely been caught now, Bill. Number 21, Bram van der Weege, is definitely catching Paul Stevens.
He is indeed, and you can see there how close he is. Now, of course, once he sees that he's closing on the leader, that surely will give him the incentive to try just that little bit harder, won't
it gives you an adrenaline charge that you can't explain in rational thought. You suddenly believe, I can beat that guy, and you get up on his tail and then try everything you can to overtake him.
Just to remind you, Patrick Greendorf from Belgium is still there in that 3rd place, but the battle is on now between 21, Bram van der Weege, who's in 2nd place, and Paul Stevens in the VW in 1st. So Belgium leads Holland at the moment, and the Dutch driver is closing.
And this will be his chance, as Bill's taken you through it before. He's got to get up the top of the Devil's Mountain. I don't think he's close enough to close on this lap. But no, here there's a possibility of an overtaking manoeuvre, as the Alfa Romeo has to block the manoeuvre from the chasing car.
Yes, and that number 6 is Pros van der Eekhout.
And the lot 27 spins it right in the middle of the main straight. So Kees Verkoegen, who's done so well to come up from the C final, has thrown away his position, so gains at such tremendous cost.
And with only half a lap to go, the checkered flag is already and out. The organisers here are very, very quick to keep this racing going. They've had an awful lot of races to take care of today. Just look at the dust that we're seeing being thrown up, but heading for the checkered flag, it's Paul Stevens from Belgium in the VW number 3. He heads the Dutch driver, Bram van der Weege, in the Fiat. And I'm getting a bit of an applause there for getting the name right, so number 3.
Only just in front though, Bill. It's a very, very tight battle for 2nd place, but number 3 it is. Paul Stevens, who goes first into 2nd place from Belgium, from Bram van der Weege of Netherlands, and then Patrick Greendorf, number 8, 3rd place.
Well, there's a nice lineup. 2 British drivers, 711, John Turner, 138, Vern Emery. They are lining up there for the Division 2 under 1600cc B final. They have got to contend with Jan Oosterlink, Joseph de Crane and Ad Bouguet.
And they're under starters' orders and away, and the 2 British drivers have got to try and defend their position at the front there, and indeed they appear to be doing that, with Vern Emery coming around the outside of Turner. The Turner it is who's got the best line into the first corner and must come through to first place. Oh, how could they possibly do that? That was incredibly stupid. They took each other out in a team match. That really was very, very unfortunate indeed. So we've got to pick up the leader.
And the leader is Joseph de Crane, number 5. Number 5, we've just lost Ad Bouguet, number 20. There he is in the Fiat, spins there, but rejoins the track. In second place, I think it's number 6, Jan Oosterlink. We'll just catch them as they come down off the Devil's Hill onto the start-finish straight.
Well, I expect the team captain will have something to say to the two British drivers there about that, because now Turner's got it all to do from third place with Vern Emery right out of it at the back of the field. So British interest now centres on this man, John Turner. Can he possibly recover the position lost through, I've got to say, stupidity? They took each other out. Great shame. This is an international challenge, and they really should have been thinking more carefully, don't you think, Bill?
I certainly do, and Vern Emery is still in there, or is he? Because he rode very high over there. He's trying to cut the corners, and that could catch him out. Anyway, we've still got number 5, Joseph de Crane, in first place. Jan Oosterlink, number 6, is in second place. John Turner, 711, is in third, and the winner of the C final, Etienne van der Brand, is in fourth position. And van der Brand is actually starting to close on 711 John Turner. So John Turner has not only got to think about taking that second place, he's also got to think about defending third spot at the same time.
Yes, well, they've done well, these British drivers, to get up here into the B final, but it should so easily have been one of them. And I suggest John Turner, as he goes, no, he doesn't go through, he's going on impossible lines which just give away the position.
He's lost that third place. Etienne van der Brand has taken it away from him, and John Turner will be absolutely furious with himself for drifting wide there.
We mustn't be too hard though. John Turner and Vern Emery are not the top experienced British drivers. They're holding up the British challenge, having lost John Cross from that position, and we've still got Gary Baker up there in the finals. But certainly this is going to affect the points very badly, and Belgium on home soil are going to improve their position. John Turner once again trying to take a line which just isn't there. It just isn't possible to overtake at that point.
And may I remind you that John Cross is out due to engine problems, so he will not be seen in the finals, and of course top British honours will be upheld once again by Gary Baker. Meanwhile, with this race we've still got Joseph van der Crane, number 5, in the lead, and there he is, number 5, leads this B final for the...
I think I saw John Turner actually stopping then, Bill, which is going to add to a miserable experience for John. I'm sure he's going to go back home and analyse this. No, he's still going,
Yes, number 15 spun out. It was Etienne who spun out. So John Turner is now up into third place. There he is, 711. John Turner up into third place. So at least he's managed to salvage something from this race as it goes into the final stages. The finish man already getting ready with the checkered flag.
Vern Emery is still pushing John Turner, still threatening to take him out. And we've got somebody inverted, we're told. We can't...
Etienne van der Brandt, I believe, just outside range of our cameras, who, when he rolled, also put the car onto its roof. It's sitting there rather undignified, wheels in the air, saying, I've had enough. But here's the man who comes through to take the checkered flag, number 5, Joseph de Crane, who will now tour around to go back to Parc Fermé, where the cars must remain for a set time period whilst the results are completed. Second place, Jan Oosterlink, and in third place for Britain, John Turner, closely followed by 138, Vern Emery. And there is the car of Etienne van der Brandt, number 15, man who won the C final in this Division 2 under 1600cc, being unceremoniously put back onto its wheels and will be shortly towed back to the paddock, and then we can get on with the racing. Well, at the moment we have no British drivers in the A final, but we do have now on the grid the B final runners, and in fact this is the man who British hopes rest on. It's number 100, Gary Baker, also in there Warwick Barnes and Bob Smith. Colin, do you think a British driver will be able to win this B final and make it through into the A race?
Well, I just do hope, Bill, they keep their cool and realise that it is an international challenge and they do have to support each other. Gary Baker it is who's on pole position. He's given some excellent starts, and providing we don't see a repeat of the situation where one takes another out, Gary Baker it is who should go through to the A final. So at least we'll get British representation in the A final, which I cannot stress is an extremely good performance on a circuit foreign to them. They hadn't seen it until today. It's very twisty, very dusty, and totally different to that which they're normally used to racing upon.
Well, we've got 3 British drivers, 1 Dutch driver, Nellis Verkoyen, and number 14 there is the Belgian hope, Jeff de Coster. So, what's it going to be? Is it going to be Britain, Holland, or Belgium? It's all very, very close. And in the position that you can see them there with the 2 British drivers on the front of the grid and Warwick Barnes in there between them on the second row of the grid, Colin, I think they are absolutely perfectly placed in to be able to keep the rest of the field behind them.
I think they're coming under starters' orders. They're being pointed at the flag, the rights rather, they're red, green, and Gary Baker it is who makes an excellent start away with Bob Smith determined not to be left anywhere. Sliding round the outside there is number 14.
That's Jeff de Coster, and what can he do is everybody there on the outside going up the bank, and we've also got there completing them the C-final winner, Jacques Van Tol, number 29, but at the moment it's Gary Baker who leads.
And Jeff de Coster certainly did his very best to take Bob Smith out then, but to their credit, we've got British drivers now first, second and third. Excellent team performance. This will be good for points, and Gary Baker going through to the A final, even if he's last on the A final, will score more points there.
Yes, and dare I say, the 3 top British drivers here today are beginning to lead the rest of the field behind them. It's Gary Baker who leads, second Warwick Barnes, third Bob Smith, then it's number 29, the man who won the C-final, Jacques Van Tol.
And Jeff de Coster is certainly putting in a fine performance in number 14, holding off the C-final winner, Jacques Van Tol.
Yes, a change of order there, Colin, as I speak. Jacques Van Tol demoted a place, so Nellis Verkoyen is the man who brings up 6th position.
He's the man we must watch. He's the danger man to the British group as he closes down, I think, now into 4th. We've got Brits first, second and third, and we've got the danger man now in 4th place. Being very chauvinistic, of course, here with the British commentary, but because it's an international challenge, we're obviously interested in a good British performance.
The meeting today, of course, also rounds the Belgian and Dutch championships, so quite a lot to go for. We're watching the battle at the back of the field. Somebody there going very, very wide. That's Nellis Verkoyen from Holland, taking a wide line. You can see him there at the back of the field. This battle really hotting up with Jacques Van Tol in the
and somebody's gone. It's Warwick Barnes who spun into the bank in the dust, I think, left by Gary Baker. He couldn't see where he was going. He's been hit in the front and he can't dig his way out. Look at his tires spinning away. He cannot move his car. The marshals are helping him. That's allowed. He won't be penalised for that. But he's got his back end well and truly stuck on the bank. They can't move him. Is this a race stop position, do you think, Bill?
Well, I don't think so. Somehow the yellow flags are out. The race has already gone some distance. In the lead, yeah, Bob Smith has also gone. I was about to say in the lead, we've still got Gary Baker, but Bob Smith has also gone.
I cannot believe this. I really cannot believe it. Warwick Barnes clearly couldn't see. We didn't see what happened to Warwick Barnes. Let's just hope that Gary Baker can hold it together. We've lost the points now that we should have had for second and third.
Well, at the moment, it's still Gary Baker in the lead. Second place, Jeff de Coster. In third place, it's Jacques Van Tol, and 4th, Nellis Verkoyen. So 2 British drivers out on exactly the same lap.
Absolute tragedy for Britain here. We really, chauvinistic or not, we can't hold our heads up. Gary Baker starts what I think will be his last lap, subject to confirmation. And the confirmation will come when they hang the checkered flag out for me. Gary Baker still holding British honour up.
All Gary has got to do now, Colin, is just make sure he stays out there in the lead and not make any mistakes. He's only got half a lap to go. The checkered flag is out, and dare I say it, but Jeff de Coster is actually closing. But of course, Gary can afford to take it just that little bit easy at the moment. He's only got just under half a lap to go. No mistakes, take it easy and you'll soon be home. There is the man in second place.
Well, my fingers are crossed, my toes are crossed. He's just got this last absurd to do. Just back off, Gary. No heroics. That's the story. Excellent. Gary Baker comes home for England in what is a second race which cannot be taken great pride of, with number 14 Jeff de Kerster coming through with an excellent second place and a fine dive to third for Jaap van Tol, who just makes it from fourth place Nellis Berkeuer.
And of course, remember that Gary Baker does in fact now go through onto the back row of the A final in this Division 2 over 1600cc. So at last there is indeed a British driver in the A final.